Hello and welcome to the fourth activation for the 7th January turn of Multi-Man Publishing's Panzer's Last Stand Operation Conrad 2 scenario. We've just completed the 23rd Rifle Corps activation here, and we have the three formations up here and the two down there to see who's going to activate next. On a dice roll, we'll roll a d6 and re-roll a 6. Probably going to actually roll a 6 and have to re-roll, but right, so here we go. A 4. So 4 counting from left to right is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the 3rd SS Panzer. They finally get a go. They are spoiled. They get no second activation and they cannot recover or failure flip. They are on a -2 snafu dice roll modifier. So here is the 3rd SS stretching all the way along here. We have the HQ here and the combat trains here. We've got a supply route, 12 hexes from here for all the units, and a supply route back to the edge of the board, and the combat trains. Combat trains are on the edge of the map. We're not going to declare prepared defense. We are going to just roll straight for the snafu. Now the big thing of course is this is a spoiled activation, so there's a -2 applied to it. When looking through the snafu modifiers, we are on 0 fatigue. We are not suffering from coordination or mixing. We just have that -2 coming at us. It is optimal distance because the trains are on the board edge, so that's a +1. Not using track, not ghosted, and there's no stream crossing of course here. So that becomes a -2 going to a -1 for optimal distance, is so a -1 for the snafu roll. And we get an 8. An 8 -1 is a 7. That's actually a full activation. So well done for this formation, for getting on with what it needs to do. So looking at the opposition here, we have some fairly strong points. This area here looks quite weak. However, these are 6 strength point dual units here, mechanised infantry. Very similar, slightly weaker with some SU support. Yep, and again here. So this is mechanised infantry here of decent size. So actually dealing with this is going to be really quite tough. So even though this density looks bad, there are a lot of units here with not a lot of steps, and I suspect, I mean certainly this hex, which looks very tough, is only 2 steps, 2 units, 1 step each. This is tougher. These two are quite tough. This is not so much, although I'm not so worried about this one. This is only 3 steps, so that's really the weak link here as far as steps go. Now, because the tank units here are pretty tough, I'm not suggesting I should engage these units at all. They are double stacked. I think what should happen is there should be initially an infantry assault here with maybe a destruction barrage to possibly clear out what's here, and just take the lumps as they come on that. So firstly I'm going to switch over this infantry unit, and we're going to start with an assault by the 2nd Battalion of the 6th SS Panzer Grenadiers into here. We have red support of course with the Stugs, so that's going to help as well. And we've got an action rating of 4. And let's go through all the combat modifiers. Well, first, before we do that, we will do the destruction barrage. The 3rd SS has 4 points, so I'm going to use 3 of those 4 points. So starting with 4 and then bringing it down to 1 to be able to do a destruction barrage on there. So that's 3 dice, and these 3 dice will hit each of those units in turn. And because they are yellow symbols there, they are hard units, so it's only on a 6 will there be a step loss. But yeah, it's worth a try. So the top ISU unit, we have a 6 there. So that unit is actually destroyed. Then we're on to the SU unit underneath. Again, only one step. Again, 3 dice, looking for a 6. We have a miss. But that's helped quite a bit here, I think. So we have the combat here now with the 2nd of the 6th. That's an action rating of 4. Looking at the modifiers, they are supported, which becomes a 5. Objective zones, I've forgotten that. I think we're going to put a double objective zone here, so this will cover this whole line if we need to. So there's a +1 for the double objective zone. There is no suppression mission, of course, but there is an assist. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. In response, the SU unit is a 4. It's not in prepared defense and it is in open terrain. It is, however, a hard red AV unit in an open hex, which gives it a +2 in defense. So 4 + 2 is 6. So 7 to 6 is just a +1. And it's still a tough unit, isn't it? Rolling on the combat table, +1, 9. It's a good roll. Goes up to a 10. I think we may be in business here. A 10 is an A1 in brackets, which means if the defender was in prepared defense there would be a loss. There isn't. We have a situational retreat. So with a situational retreat, it's not in prepared defense or in key terrain, so therefore it retreats 3 hexes and flips to its move side. It is already on its move side, so it goes 3 hexes backwards, and I think we'll go 1, 2, 3 here, and that's actually a success. However, the other result is actually a traffic marker. The infantry can advance. The infantry can advance. And they are now finished, as is the assisting unit here. You have that traffic marker on top. So we've got the hex, so the traffic marker is a little bit annoying. So I think our Tiger here will do an engagement with that AT unit. So that's 5 action rating with 5 AV is a 10 versus a 4 and a 2. Everything else doesn't get involved. So it looks like 10 to 6, but there is a double objective, so that's 11 to 6. And that's a +4 where the target is a real AV on the engagement table. I've just remembered something, and I'm going to wind this back. Actually, the 18th Tank Corps is in prepared defense. I set that before. That changes quite a few things here. So let's wind back. There's no changes particularly to the initial barrages. However, this attack was not actually a success. What it was, but what happened was the A1 did actually cause a loss. It's down to 4 steps. And the situational retreat is converted to a step loss. Now this only has a step loss, so this unit is also removed. Traffic still appears, And because the unit in here was destroyed, the advance does happen. So winding forward now to the anti-tank attack here. So our roll, which actually will be modified, an extra 1 for the defense because of prepared defense, of course. So that's 6, 7 versus 10, 11. So that's a +4. Oh, another good roll here. 10 goes to a 13, and that is of course way off the chart for target loss and retreat. So this unit, again only having 1 step, is removed. Now of course a retreat result from an engagement table, even though it was against one of the units, that anti-tank unit, does force the entire stack to retreat, not just that unit. So with that unit, it would have to retreat 3 hexes and flip to its move side. Now this is significant, I think, here. I think a 1, 2, 3 is the best place to be. And that is because that removes the safe path for this stack of units here. And this was only an engagement here. So having done 1 fire event with the Tiger here, I'm tempted to push our luck really and do another one here, an engagement here. To risk, I don't want to lose that Tiger unit, but to attempt to actually sort of open this out, it would be useful. Alternatively, maybe here, but this is slightly tougher actually. And maybe we should leave that to these guys. So yeah, we're going to do an engagement here as our second fire event. So that's 5 + 5 is 10, + 1 for double objective 11, versus 4 + 4, which is 8. And of course we have the prepared defense of 18th Tank Corps. So that's 8, 9 against 10, 11. So 11 to 9 is a +2 on the table. Slight risk here, but let's go for it. A 9, I think we're going to be okay. 9 + 2, the target is real AV, is a target loss and retreat. So that was a success. And a retreat of 3, which again I think we will pull straight back. 1, 2, maybe there for 3. That's the second fire event there, so that has actually stopped. So quite a lot of success here so far. Let's look over here. Again, there's not a lot in the way of steps here, only 3 steps total. And I'm inclined to do a regular attack first. We can use one of these tank units as support, but it will stop it. I think I'm okay with that. That's the better of the two, but it has only 1 step. Yeah, we will use this guy in support. So attack from the Pioneers, regular attack. So looking at the chart, we've got an action rating of 4. We have support from the Sturmgeschütz here for 5. Is in the double ejectic zone just 6. We will do a suppression mission, so that'll take the artillery away. That's 7, 8, and an assist is a 9. And in defence we have a 5 action rating. It is in prepared defence 6. It is in terrain 7. And well, actually they're hard red AVs. So yeah, so they don't get the terrain. So 5, prepared defence 6, and that's it. So 6 against 9 is a +3. That's a fair chance here of doing some good. It is prepared defence though. +3. A 7. +3 is a 10, looking on the chart. A 10 is an A1 if prepared defence is active. It is. And the retreat is situational. And then, of course, prepared defence means that they stay. And this unit must lose a step to stay because of the prepared defence. And the pioneers lose a step as well. And nothing moves. But that's okay, I think. So this little group is pretty much done. The tank unit here could engage. It will be a pretty even fight actually. Double objective will help. But prepared defence won't, because it will be a 0 attack. I'm rather inclined to leave it because we're quite short on these tank steps. Now across here we clearly need to move up. Our Aufklärungs is over here, which is probably in a not the best position. If we put him to move mode, he can't go. Sorry, he's in move mode. We can't put him into fire mode. He has just one side, and I think he really needs to come down here and help, because I think these are just a bit too tough to deal with. So we will move up here with this infantry unit. This infantry unit here. 1, 2, oh actually just there I think. And our Aufklärungs will disappear down the road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. And going into forest, it would be a stop. Couldn't go any further. But maybe, yes, I think we'll do that anyway. So it's stopping there. I think just we need a lot more going on here, I think. Yeah. And I think that's it. We've used all our artillery up. So we're on to clear up here. So double objective. and the traffic comes off. And then we roll for the fatigue. We did do a couple of regular attacks, so it's a 1 to 3. Roll that on the dice. 6, they're fine. So no fatigue increase. I don't think anybody's had any extra fatigue so far this turn. And because it was a secondary spoiled attack, pretty good for a spoiled spoiled activation, there is no second activation, and that's it for the third SS. One thing I did want to note is that previous to this, during the isolation phase on the 18th Tank Corps, there was units here, so therefore there was a safe path. There isn't now, so these units have no safe path, which is now a worry for the next activation they have. But other than that, that's the activation over, and we're on to the next one, which will be in the next video. So until then, bye for now.